Hello and welcome to the Menopausal View. I am going to be doing my nightly facial while we discuss Captain Marvel. So, are you ready? So, Captain Marvel stars Brie Larson, Samuel L. Jackson, and Jude Law. Now, I am going to be the first one to tell you I am not a Marvel aficionado like I am DC Comics. I'm just not. So everything I know about Marvel, I've learned from the movies that I've watched. But I have to tell you, first of all, I was very excited about Captain Marvel coming out. For one thing, her costume is very similar to Wonder Woman's, and a lot of people get their products that they sell mixed up. So people will sell Captain Marvel stuff thinking that it's Wonder Woman. And for some reason, people don't take too kindly when you try to explain to them, this isn't Wonder Woman, this is Captain Marvel, completely different system, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and they try to pass it off as Wonder Woman and try to charge more for it, blah, 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 blah. Not saying that it's not the same value. I'm just saying people think that there's an exaggerated value of Wonder Woman paraphernalia, but if it's too new, it's not going to be worth as much as you think it is. But I do digress. All right. So, I'm just using Almay makeup wipe removers to get the bigger stuff of makeup off. I really like it because it's got an oil base and it really takes off the waterproof makeup. Plus I have really dry skin, so. Anyway, so let me tell you from the very beginning, they changed the Marvel lead-in video that says, Marvel, and it was all Stan Lee. And I had to take a moment. Even though I'm not a Marvel aficionado, I am a big fan of Stan Lee. And when he passed away last year, I was genuinely heartbroken. He has done more for the comic book industry and single-handedly than honestly anybody. I mean, yes, Schuster and Siegel created Superman, the first official superhero out there, but Stan Lee, buddy, he has kept comic books in your face, and the movies, and he's why Marvel is rocking and rolling the way it is. So then they dedicated the movie to Stan Lee, and it hasn't even started yet, and I'm already bawling like a little baby. I'm already got tears pouring down my face. I'm like, oh, it's so beautiful, it's so beautiful. I love Stan Lee, I love him so much. And my husband's over there, he's like, are you okay? I'm like, it's Stan Lee, honey. It's Stan Lee. And I was like, I'm not going to get to see him in his cameo. He's not going to have a cameo. He had a cameo. And I was like, oh my God, did they CGI that in? And then I was like, oh, wait a minute. He must have passed away after he did the cameo. And even the cameo that he did, and the way they did it was almost like in reverence to Stan Lee. It was, I was like, oh. Anyway, so I had no idea what to expect with Captain Marvel, simply because I'm not familiar with the storyline in any way. I know nothing about it, except her colors are the same as Wonder Woman and same, general look. So I waited and I was watching and I was like, okay. So you know, following the story, and I have been reading online that people were upset about, they didn't like the CGI effects of her costume. You know, they were referring to it like Green Lantern, and how that was a mistake. Now keep in mind, it hadn't even been premiered yet, and people were already griping about it. Which always makes me so mad when people start rating a movie before it's even out. And I'm one of those people who love superhero movies, and I'm always going to be the one to give them the benefit of the doubt. If they keep me entertained, if I can follow the story, whether I know the story or not, because they change it, you know, for movies. It's always different from the original, how it's supposed to be, kind of thing. So I always just kind of wait to see, you know, how it's going to turn out. So, first of all, I got to tell you guys, Samuel L. Jackson he is an entity all his own, and he is just amazing. And I think that, like, I would want to be friends with him, because I think it would be a hysterical, rip-roaring time, you know, just hanging out with him. He just seems like that type of everyman's buddy, kind of, you know, and his mouth is as bad as mine, so we can totally hang in that regards too. So anyway, and Brie Larson, and I'm sorry if you're a fan of Brie Larson, I have no idea who she is. And Jude Law, who's been around a couple blocks and been on a couple things. I didn't even know it was Jude Law, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't necessarily recognize him if I had known. You know what I'm saying? This movie, though, was so girl power oriented. I was genuinely pleased. When Wonder Woman came out and it was all girl power, it was all about love, I wept through the entire Wonder Woman movie, simply because it took 78 years to get her own live action movie. 78 years. And, you know, Superman had his back in the 30s or 40s, I think. He had his own live serial before movies came out. You know, they'd have serials. So this was very much, you know, a very female-oriented storyline with girl power all the way through it. And I was just thrilled. The characters, the Jude Law trying to keep her from being as awesome as she could possibly be, which is kind of, you know, male thing, I guess, you know, whatever. So it was just, it was a rip-roaring, awesome time from the beginning. It had some funny spots. It was light. It wasn't too heavy. It was, oh, and I was using Defined cleanser, and now I'm going to be using Defined anti-aging toner. Now, somebody who understands Marvel has got to tell me who the bad guys ended up being, because I know that they probably were the bad guys from one of Thor's planets, I think. And I think maybe the ice people, maybe? Like I said, I'm not a Marvel person, so if I'm giving something away, I do apologize. I don't know who it is, so I could be lying. But it was definitely interesting the way they did it. And the cat, there's a cat. there is a cat that is awesome. And if you've ever been to a Marvel movie, you already know you have to stay all the way to the end of the credits. Otherwise you're going to miss stuff, right? So they had two credit things, one in the middle of the end of the credits and one at the very end of the credits. The one at the very end of the credits was hysterical. And now I'm doing Defined Serum. And it involved the cat and was hysterical. But you get to learn how Nick Fury lost his eye. And that probably was worth the whole thing. And we did see it in 3D RPX. So it was very cool to watch it. Very entertaining, Sean said that he wished it had more action, and I think for me it had plenty of action. I mean, there was a lot of, you know, now I'm using anti-aging moisturizer. There was a lot of, you know, skirmishes and some light show battles and stuff, but he didn't think that it had enough fighting power for a Marvel kind of movie. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? What did you think about it? All in all, I would have to give it 4.5 out of 5 tiaras. Very enjoyable, fun, light-hearted. The end was awesome. I can't wait for the second one. So if you haven't had an opportunity to go see Captain Marvel, go do it. You won't be disappointed. I know a lot of my girlfriends were planning on going to see it over the next couple weekends. So for all of those who haven't seen it, go see it. If you have seen it, please let me know what you think in the notes below. And thank you for joining me in my nightly ritual. Please subscribe and hit the little bell, and join us on Facebook, also at The Menopausal View. And we will see you soon. Stay flabulous.